Hey Gemini, welcome to your weekly forecast for June 21st through the 27th. This is going to be for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to see what's happening the week ahead. If you fall upon this video outside of the dates I mentioned, don't you worry. You found it whenever you were meant to hear the messages. Keep in mind it is a general reading. Not every single message will resonate, but take the ones that do. Alright, so let's see here. What do we have permission to know for Gemini? What does the Gemini Collective have permission to know at this time? What does the Gemini Collective need to know at this time? For Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. Alrighty, my dears. And so, the first card that we have coming up here is the Knight of Cups. Okay, Knight of Cups, if I'm not mistaken, also came up for Leo. And one of the other signs, I can't remember who, it may have been Capricorn. So some of you could be dealing with a Leo or Capricorn simply because the same card came up. Not necessarily it can be happening. Traditionally, Knight of Cups is going to be a water sign person. And so water signs are going to be Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. And some of you may be dealing with a water sign person. However, if you're new to this channel in the weekly forecasts, I want to focus on you. And I want it to be about you and less about other people. That's why I do love reading separate on my channel. And in the weekly reading, I'm not going to apply the Knight of Cups the way you're used to hearing Knight of Cups apply in a love reading, because Knight of Cups has a lot of layers, okay? He's not just a player. I'm sorry to tell you, there's a lot more going on with Knight of Cups. He's not always a player. One of the meanings of Knight of Cups is about pursuing the things that make your heart smile. It's about pursuing the things that inspire you and the pursuit of beauty, the quest for beauty, to bring beauty into your life, to bring magic into your life, to bring a sense of inspiration and adventure into your life, okay? It's a very open-hearted energy, right? The heart is very open, ready to receive, ready to see what's out there, very optimistic even. Okay, and so for me in my readings, this is not going to be true for every tarot reader, but for me in my readings, a lot of the times when Knight of Cups comes up for somebody, someone is going through an unblocking of the heart chakra where they're full on ready to receive, and they're in a lot more positive space, and they're going to receive a lot of abundance, including financial abundance. But the first thing that happens before this flow comes in is they begin to notice beauty around them. It's like, I never noticed how beautiful the traffic lights were on the way home. I never noticed how inspiring and how impressive those little blades of grass are growing out of the cracks in the concrete on the sidewalk, pushing their way through, still living their life. You see things in so much deeper way, artistic way, poetic way, inspirational way, and you're noticing beauty in yourself, your own beauty of the people around you. It's this very positive energy of opening up and just being open for what's in store, what life has to offer. And this is one of the first things that happens before the abundance comes in. Keep in mind, guys, abundance is not only financial. It's included. Financial is included in abundance, but abundance is every good thing. It's happiness and fulfillment all around. And so Knight of Cups coming up is that pursuit, that inspiration, that zeal for life, that desire for beauty, the appreciation of beauty. All right, some of you might be realizing a lot of creative juices are flowing that you didn't know that you had. Guess what? Creativity and intuition go hand in hand. So if you've been asking for more intuition, if you've been asking to connect more deeply with spirit, with angels, with guides, the first step for a lot of people is going to be becoming more creative. Creativity and intuition go hand in hand. They're very, very tightly linked. Okay, so a lot of you are opening up to receive spiritual gifts as well. The next card that's coming up here is the Death card. There could be a Scorpio in the mix here for some of you Geminis, okay? because the death card here is representative of Scorpio energy. I know this is a card that scares a lot of people, but I have to tell you that this is a card that comes up basically to signify a time in which you are being reborn. You are being transformed. You are rising above difficulties, and the old way of life is forever over. And you're coming into a new way of life. You're coming into your authenticity. You're shaking off labels and conditioning, right? Conditioning is who we're taught to be versus who we really are, right? It's coming into the authentic self. I have also seen the death card come up when someone is trying to make a move or leave a relationship or make a career change, and as it's happening, the death card comes up basically to say, this is it, buddy, like this is it, you're not going back to the old thing. This career change is a permanent one. This time you're leaving the relationship for real, or nope, you really are going to relocate, you're not going to come back out this way again. So sometimes it comes up to confirm that something is happening in a permanent way. Okay, keep in mind that this is a major arcana card. So the major arcana cards are going to come up when you're at a new crossroads and when you're coming into a new chapter in your life. Okay, some of you may be experiencing ego death, and maybe you've been experiencing it for a while. I know ego death sounds terrifying, but when we're early on in our awakening, or you know what, I'm not gonna say early on in our awakening, because it is possible to experience it in stages over time. Depending on your path, you might experience it in different stages. But one of the things that happens when we wake up is that we begin to, as we come into the authentic self, we begin to lose interest in the things we thought we liked. You might feel like the people you hang out with, like you don't enjoy it anymore, they're kind of exhausting, or they're just like very boring to you. The music you used to like, you don't like it anymore. You're going through all your playlists and you keep skipping all the songs that you used to love, the shows you used to watch, the movies you used to watch, the type of people you used to find attractive. You're like, they don't do anything for me anymore. Your taste may be changing. And in the beginning, that can be scary because you might think, oh my gosh, how come I don't like anything anymore? Am I losing my joy for life? Well, Knight of Cups tells me some of you have already been experiencing that ego death for a while, but now you're coming into the phase of finding what inspires you, having that sense of inspiration, right? And so this card is coming to tell you that you're making some permanent changes. You're coming into authenticity, right? You're not going to be going back to the old life. One of the meanings of the death card is the phoenix rising from the ashes. So some of you Gemini have been through something very difficult, maybe even very unfair, but you're going to see it turn around into a blessing that you could not even have imagined. Okay? You're going to see a blessing coming out of it that you could not even have imagined, because I'm feeling there's this phoenix rising from the ashes. Like, you're going to be better off for this thing having happened, and you didn't even realize, you didn't even see that coming. Like, wow, that was actually a truly a blessing in disguise. Your next card here, my dears, is the Nine of Wands. All right, so Nine of Wands can be a card that comes up when we're being a little bit cautious, we're being a little bit careful. It can even indicate that we're kind of nervous or we're not sure about who to let in, okay? But if that is the case, as you're going in this new adventure, you're opening up, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to go out there. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, but wait a minute. What if I end up getting burned again? What if I trust the wrong person again? Nine of Wands is like, look, every single one of these wands is someone, it belongs to a person who came up to this dude minding his own business and challenged him. They wanted to fight him. They wanted to take from him what he had. And he was able to fight each of these people off and take their stick away and stick it in the ground behind him as like this trophy, as this token of his victory. Now, he got hurt. He's got that bandage around his head. It looks like his arm might be wrapped up here. He didn't get away without any injuries, but he's still alert. He's still standing. And if need be, he's still got fight left in him. So 9 of Wands comes up to say, there is nothing new under the sun anybody can come at you with, Gemini. You don't have to be scared. You've seen every lie. You've seen every manipulation. You know every dirty trick in the book. Nobody's gonna come at you with anything you haven't already seen. As long as you're keeping your eyes open and you're staying alert and you're paying attention, and you meet somebody and you're like, oh, that person kind of reminds me of my old coworker Patty. Yeah, you know, please forgive me if your name is Patty. I'm not saying you're bad. That kind of reminds me, my old coworker Patty, you know. Oh, you know, she acted like she was my friend, but, you know, she was kind of trying to, like, you know, compete with me, and she was saying things behind my back, and, you know, she ended up being kind of two-faced. Or, oh, you know, that person reminds me of that one guy, John. You know, oh, man, you know, he seemed like really cool at first, but then, like, he always wanted me to, like, help him and give him money and feel sorry for him, and he was, like, mean to me, and he would manipulate me. Pay attention to those little things. If you meet people that are reminding you of someone, or just something is not sitting right with you, pay attention. That's your intuition kind of, you know, lining up the dots, connecting the dots, saying, hey, remember this person? Hey, don't end up in that situation again. Pay attention to those things. As long as you do, and please forgive me, all the Johns and all the Patties out there, I'm sure you're lovely, I'm sure you're wonderful. Please don't take offense that I used your name in the example. But basically, if you're being alert, you don't have to be worried, you don't have to be concerned about, you know, being taken advantage of, or being fooled, or, you know, accepting the wrong opportunity, or falling into some karmic thing for like another 5 years or 10 years. You don't have to worry about that. You have the wisdom, you have the knowledge to stay out of it and not fall into it again. 9 of Wands also says you are so close to completing something very important for you. You've worked so hard. You know, don't give up on yourself now. Okay? You're very close to finishing out a project or a cycle, because 9 comes before 10, and 10 is the number of completion. The next card you guys have coming up here, Gemini, is the Page of Cups. And Page of Cups here, like I said, can be a younger water sign traditionally, right? It's a court card, so it could be a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces that you may be dealing with. It can also be a younger water sign, or somebody who's very youthful in their energy, sometimes even a little immature. Okay, and so they might not understand, but you might have, with this 9 of Wands, having to maintain boundaries here. However, for me in my readings, one of the things I've seen with the Page of Cups tends to come up when somebody is going through a heart chakra opening. We talked about that with the Knight of Cups. And so with the Knight of Cups, right, your heart chakra is opening up to receive all this beauty and all this abundance. But the Page of Cups tells us that some of you are having a hard time and you're feeling very overwhelmed, because I see the Page of Cups come up when the heart chakra is opening up, but like you're not at full capacity, or it feels very overwhelming to receive. And even though good things might be happening, you might be tempted to push them away. So if this is happening and if you're feeling this way, don't sabotage yourself, don't shoot yourself in the foot, so to speak, but rather take little breaks. You know, take a step away, take a little bit of a break, maybe kind of don't ghost anybody, don't cut off communication, don't run for the hills, so to speak, but you can take your time in responding to someone, right? You can take your time in responding to someone. You can slow things down. You don't have to hit the brakes, but you can slow things down a little bit to let yourself catch up and not feel so overwhelmed. Another thing too, when the Page of Cups comes up and the heart chakra is opening up and good things are happening and you're feeling overwhelmed, sometimes it leads to you, that energy shift leads to people feeling very sleepy. I know it's happened with me in my experience, some of my long-term clients that I've worked with for a long time. A lot of energy here having to do with basically shifting, energy shifting. And so that might even physically make us a little bit tired. So just be gentle with yourself. Don't push yourself too hard. Don't feel like you have to do everything at once. And let yourself enjoy, little by little, piece by piece. Just pace yourself. A lot of the times when we open up, it feels so overwhelming to open up and to receive that it's very tempted to push things away. And some of you may have had that happen, right? A lot of the times people see it happen in their love life. You may end up dating somebody or getting to know somebody, and it's going really good and the feelings are beginning to get really strong, and then that person panics and they can't deal with it and they end up running away, or they end up running back to the toxic or karmic person. Many of us have had that experience at one point in our lives, right? And you might be doing it not in your love life, you might be doing it in another way, right? In terms of abundance or career or friendships, or maybe love for some of you, but we're not focusing on love in this reading. So just pace yourself. It's okay to go slow, but whatever you do, don't close the door. Okay, don't close the door. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those may resonate with you more than your sun sign. It may add a little extra information. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. You can also check out the love readings for June that are linked in the description if you haven't already. And then the love readings for July will be up in the next couple of days. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Bye, Gemini. Be well, my dears.